Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Monday, December the 9th. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, huh? 2 more weeks to go until the big day. 2 more weeks for me. 2 weeks from today, I get one of my cataracts out in the right eye, and they're going to put an implant like the Bionic Man, the $6 million man, so that I can actually see far away. So that's good. 2 weeks from today. So we got to talk sports because the Eagles. We got to talk Eagles and we will. But before we do, I got to say how happy I am that Dick Allen, knew him as Richie Allen, finally made it to the Hall of Fame. It's too bad he didn't make it in while he was still alive so he could enjoy it. But he's in. He's in the Hall of Fame. What a great player, huh? Dick Allen, great not only with the Phillies back in the 60s, but the White Sox too. Now, when he played for the Phillies, he was known as Richie Allen. And he was Rookie of the Year in 64. And he had a great career with the Phillies. A strong like bull. I tell you, he hit the ball harder than anybody else in the game at that time. And here's the thing, Richie Allen was very overshadowed by other great players. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente. They all played during that era when Allen came up with the Phillies. And he swung the heaviest bat, 40 ounces. Can you believe it? He just whipped that bat around like a toothpick through the strike zone. And he would hit these titanic home runs over on the roof of the left field grandstand at Connie Stadium, all the way over the roof to the street. He did this all the time. Tremendous strength, great home run hitting, great hitter, period. I think it was Hank Aaron who said, if Richie didn't swing as hard and if he didn't try to get home runs, which he did, he was the power guy in the lineup. He could easily hit like 340, 350 a year because he hit the ball so damn hard, up through the middle. Just nowadays, they have all this stuff now, where they can measure how hard the ball is hit. He would easily win that every single year because he just hit the ball so hard that people couldn't catch it. So what a great player. He came up as a third baseman and then he transitioned over to first base. And what it was funny because at the end of his tenure with the Phillies, he wasn't happy with the Phillies. Well, you got to remember, late 60s, Philadelphia, there was a lot of racial tension back in the day. And people were nasty. And let's be fair, Richie Allen didn't take it very well either. You know, he was he, he was known to be a bit of a drinker, and he did it his own way. He didn't listen to rules. Like they would say, Richie, you got to be on time for meetings. You got to be here, and he would just do his own thing. And at the end, it just didn't mesh in Philadelphia. But it was funny because he used to play first base, and he used to draw these with his foot sayings in the dirt near the first base bag, like hello or I want out or whatever. He would put these little messages in the dirt there. Anyway, I'm just glad that he got into the Hall of Fame. And, he came back and played with the Phillies in the 70s then. And it kind of helped Mike Schmidt, Greg Luzinski, that gang, and just coming up. Helped him out a little, transitioned. And he was just not a good player, great player for the Phillies and the White Sox. So I'm glad he got. Anyway, so uh, Eagles, huh? Well, you know what? We've talked about this before on the show. The Eagles tend to play down to the competition. Do you remember when they played the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier in the year? And everybody said Eagles would kill them, right? They weren't 14-point favorites like they were yesterday against Carolina, but they were pretty good favorites. And the Eagles got off to a 22-0 lead in that Jacksonville game. And Jacksonville came back and really put a scare into the Eagles at the end. Eagles just about pulled out that victory. But so the Eagles tend to take these lesser teams for granted. They just, I don't know what it is, but you got to give Carolina a lot of credit. They hung around and hung around and hung around. And if you let a team do that, they're going to have hope. And they're going to say, hey, you know what? We can beat these guys. So give Carolina credit. Saquon Barkley, another great game, 124 yards on the ground. In any other year, he might be the MVP. And who knows, he might still be. The teams he is playing against for the rest of the year are not good other than Pittsburgh this week. The other teams, the Giants, the Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, not good at stopping the run. So he's going to still add on. He's going to get 2,000 yards. But look at the way Josh Allen is playing over in Buffalo. Yesterday, 6 touchdowns, 3 by air, 3 by air, 1 by sea, 3 running touchdowns. That itself is incredible. And 3 passing touchdowns. First player, first quarterback to ever do that in the history of the NFL. So he's going to win MVP. But Barkley's had a great year. One of the greatest years ever for a running back. So yesterday, two things concern me. The Eagles are not passing the ball. The passing game is really screwed up. Did you look at Jalen Hurts yesterday? He kind of looked like, had this glassy look in his eyes. Kind of looked like a deer in headlights. That's the way he looked at the end of last year when he was all discombobulated. What the hell is wrong with him? I don't know. The commentators said yesterday, not that they were the best, that he had so many open throws and he was hanging onto the ball too long. He's been doing that. Throw the freaking ball away. Don't take a sack. And when the guy is open, just throw the ball, hit the guy. It's not rocket science. Jalen Hurts, come on. And the thing is, A.J. Brown only got, 4 targets yesterday? He ain't get many targets. He is pissed. And you don't want to get him pissed. He's outspoken. And I don't blame him. When you have sure, you want to run the ball with Barkley. But when you have a talent like A.J. Brown on the team, big, strong, fast, you use him. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, what kind of plays was he calling yesterday? Look at the end of the game. Eagles are ahead. They've got the ball like 4 minutes to go. All they have to do is run the ball, make Carolina use their timeouts. Just keep feeding Barkley. That's all you have to do. What happens instead? Hurts goes back and throws to throw them. Gets sacked. Loses about 10, 15 yards. And then you almost have to throw the ball just to try to get the first down. I mean, it's just so stupid. Some of these call plays are just so stupid. But in the end, the defense held on. Luckily, that guy, Leggett, dropped that pass at the end of the game, right at the goal line. Should have been a touchdown for Carolina. Eagles got very lucky there. But it is what it is, right? Eagles have won 9 in a row. They are now 11-2 on the year. They're still in back of Detroit for the best record in the NFC. And the Eagles are about ready to lock up the NFC East, which is the goal. I mean, you want to win the division so that you can get a home game in the playoffs and be one of the top 4 seeds. And that's what's going to happen. So after that, it's just a matter of positioning. Is Detroit going to lose another game? If they do, Eagles need to run the table. But we'll talk more about that later in the week. The upcoming game against Pittsburgh, which is going to be a big game. Pittsburgh is 10-3. Interstate rivals. It's going to be cold next Sunday at the lake. 4:25 game. And now that's football for you. Both teams like to run the ball. It's going to be a smash mouth, grind it out type of affair. But we'll talk more about that. The other thing that upsets me, other than the lack of a passing game, it was good to see Devontae Smith back. In fact, he caught a touchdown yesterday, which was cool. The other thing that concerns me is Jake Elliott. Why is he missing all these field goals all of a sudden? What the hell? He used to be really reliable. And, nowadays, with all these kickers making 50-yard field goals, 55, even 60-yard field goals are commonplace. Jake Elliott is 0 for 5 at field goal attempts over 50 yards. Nowadays, those are, I would say, gimme chip shots, but they're makeable field goals. He's not making them. What's wrong with him? I don't know. Is he getting old? Is the leg going? I don't know. He's just off. Mechanics at this, but hopefully he gets right by the playoffs, because I could see where that would come back and bite us in the playoffs. You got a close game. The playoff games are going to be close. They're going to be hard fought. You're playing against other good teams. It might be a 17-17 game coming down to the wire, and you need a field goal to win. And you try to kick a 53-yard field goal as the clock expires. And Elliott, come on, yeah, he used to be money in the bank. He used to be reliable. What's wrong with him? So that does concern me. It does. He's got to show me that he's kicking better than he is. I'm just concerned. But hey, Eagles won. They took care of business yesterday, and it's on to play Pittsburgh now. Tonight, Dallas is at home playing Cincinnati. Bengals, Cowboys. Ugh. Yeah. What a yucky game, huh? What a putrid game. Got the stinking lousy Cowboys at home against the stinking lousy Bengals. I hate the Saints, but I actually think the Cowboys can win that game. Why? Because they're at home and they were playing a little bit better, and the Bengals stink. Their defense stinks. But Joe Burrow is playing really well. So we'll see what happens there. I gotta say, this Juan Soto contract signed for like $750 million with the stinky lousy Mets. Wow, Tim. The Mets are better. You gotta give them. They are improved. This makes them all. But Soto sounds 15 million. He was guaranteed $50 million. I don't even think. He's a hell of a player, but he's young. And it's compelling because I've seen Watson dog too. I've seen him dog running his first games. I've seen him dog that against them going off with the money to left in the middle film. He's no go getter. What I'm saying? So he does make the Mets better. I hate to say that, but nobody's worth that kind of almost $750 million. The first $1 billion player billion would it be, is going to be on the horizon because the salaries just keep going up and up and up. So I don't know who that's going to be, but I would say the next young superstar out there in baseball who is looking for a contract in the next few years may be the first $1 billion player that we see. So it's funny because when I was growing up, $100,000 you'd give Mickey Mantle or Willie Mays was considered a lot of money. You know, $100,000. What the hell? He doesn't deserve that. Now, when you think about it, it's just pocket change, it's peanuts. Yeah, what these guys are making nowadays. But the National League East is going to be a dogfight next season. I mean, you got the defending champion Phillies. Let's hope they do something this week. It's the winter meetings. Moves are happening. Players are being signed. There's going to be trades happening. And Dave Dombrowski, the general manager, needs to get off of his butt and start doing something to improve this Phillies team because all the other teams around them are getting better. You know, certainly the Mets are improving. The Braves are going to be better, just let alone for the fact that Ronald Acuna Jr. will be back from his injury and Spencer Strider will be back sometime next year from his Tommy John surgery. So right there, they're going to be better. The Nationals, I don't think they're contenders yet, but they're getting there. And who knows what the Marlins is. But the East is going to be a dogfight. It's not going to be easy for the Phillies this year. Not going to be easy. So Phillies need to do something this week. This is the week when things get done. Trades, free agent signings, what have you. This is the week to do it. So, you know, Phillies they cannot run the same team back again. That team may have won 95 games in the regular season, but that team choked in the playoffs. They did. I mean, and that's the goal. The goal is to win the World Series. So the Phillies have to do something to improve the team, whether it be in the bullpen, whether it be in the outfield, strengthening the bench. Of course, getting another starting pitcher is always okay because you never have a pitcher. Guys always get hurt, you know. So that's not a bad thing. But they have to do something. So, all right, everybody. Well, I hope everybody has a good day and a good week. It's Monday, 2 weeks before Christmas. This is a fun time of year, huh? It's Christmas time in the city. Wiggling, diggling. Tony Bennett, so it would be Christmas Day. Tony Bennett. God rest his soul. Anyway, so speaking of rest his soul, how could I forget this before I sign off? There he is, our friend Bud, huh? Look at him, look at his teeth and look at his tongue. Huh? What a handsome man he was. Yeah, Bud, we miss you and love you. There he is, the patron saint of this fine podcast. Bud himself. All right, everybody. Well, guess what? I'll be back tomorrow, like it or not, because I have another movie classic of the week to talk about with you tomorrow. Now, last week we did Rain Man. The week before we did The Wizard of Oz. And that, you know, The Wizard of Oz, it's going crazy with this Wizard of Oz. You know, there were only 4 pair of authentic ruby red slipper shoes that Judy Garland wore playing Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. 4 pair. 1 pair is in the Smithsonian Institute. The other 2 pair are owned by private collectors. And the other pair was sold yesterday at auction for $32 million. They only thought it was going to get $3 million, the pair of shoes. $32 million. The people are going nuts for this Wicked. It's still up there in the box office. high up there. The Wizard of Oz itself. And now we're looking forward to Wicked 2 next November. People love the Wizard of Oz stuff. And did you see Ariana Grande, who played Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, in the Wicked movie, was on the Kelly Clarkson talk show. And Kelly Clarkson surprised her by obtaining the actual magic wand that the original Glinda held in the movie The Wizard of Oz. It's owned by a private collector, but they loaned it to Kelly Clarkson to let Ariana Grande hold it. And she was overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed with emotion because here she is playing this iconic role, 80 years later. And she gets to actually hold the same magic wand as Glinda had, the same one. Stuff like that is cool, I wish I had enough money to buy some movie memorabilia like that. Think about that. What piece of a movie would you like to own? That's a good question. Ponder that until I come back tomorrow. Just ponder it all day. If you had one movie memorabilia that you wanted to own, what would it be? Well, I don't know. I got to think about it myself, really. But all right, everyone, have fun. Peace and love. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll talk in movie classic week. Chances are we're going to talk more Eagles and more Phillies. And don't forget, later in the week, we are going to break down that Eagles Steelers game on Sunday. Crikey, that's going to be a war in South Philadelphia. Interstate rivals. Have all these Pittsburghers coming over here and trying to take over. They're not taking over. They're not taking over. The Eagles are going to win that game. You watch. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.